Hello and welcome to IB Times TV. I'm Leanna Brinder, Business Editor for the International Business Times. Joining me now is Tom Homer. He's the head of EMEA and Americas at Telstra Global. So hi, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
So we're talking about UK versus Asia businesses, and your new research shows that UK companies have actually outperformed Asian peers. Why is that?
We work with businesses that are growing into and out of Asia. And we felt we wanted to understand what it was that was making UK businesses more successful than their Asian counterparts. And so what we found was that about 3/4 of UK businesses that we surveyed are successfully achieving their objectives, versus only about 60% of their Asian counterparts. And that's really down to the fact that they are better at explaining the strategy and the business vision that the headquarters has, and also they're better at sending leaders out from the business, from the headquarters, to explain what's going on and to really get a good understanding.
I mean, when it comes to UK businesses tapping into opportunities overseas, are there some certain sectors where the way the companies are led may be a little bit better? They've found other opportunities that maybe their Asian counterparts haven't?
Yeah, so interestingly, what we found was that in the past 3 years, it's really been ICT, so IT companies that have been successful.
Okay.
But in the next 3 years, it's more likely to be financial services and insurance companies that are more successful, which is great for the UK, because obviously the UK is very well represented in that particular sector.
How does finding talent differ to that in Asia?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, what our research told us was that soft skills were more important than hard skills in Asia. So we kind of honed that down to 3 things. So that's creativity, curiosity, and resilience. Those are the things that are more important to anything else in Asia. And the other thing is, clearly churn rates are much, much higher. And so the top 5% of Asian businesses, we call them Asian business champions, have been more successful in that space than their counterparts. So that, again, is well represented in UK firms, where over 8% of the firms that we surveyed are British Asian business champions, compared to an overall number of 4%.
Especially in China, there have been a lot of, I suppose, reputational risk and damage that's happened over the last few years because of bribery scandals, corruption, things like that. Do you think that automatically then puts maybe Western companies, especially UK companies, on a better footing?
Well, interestingly, regulatory compliance is one of the 3 big challenges that exist in the survey results that we found. And that it's only third to finding talent and also getting results more quickly than it can be delivered. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, regulation is a big issue, but any business that operates in Asia or any other part of the world that has operations in the UK or the US is subject to a lot of stringent regulation anyway and compliance issues. So we really don't see it as anything particularly different to the rest of the world.
There are quite a few, I suppose, regulatory changes happening in the UK, in the EU, and of course in the US. Do you think that's actually going to make, I suppose, UK companies less competitive going forward, or do you see UK companies still beating their Asian peers for quite a time to come?
You know, what our survey says is that the outlook for UK companies operating in Asia is good. So regardless of the regulatory framework, you know, I think UK businesses are really well poised to exploit the opportunity that exists. And you know, we work with a lot of UK headquartered multinational businesses that are being really, really successful growing in Asia. So guys like Fitness First, Arup, the big engineering consultant, and Robert Walters, the headhunters, are all working really successfully in Asia, growing their businesses, and hopefully Telstra are helping them in some way.
What kind of trends or developments should we watch out for in business over the medium term, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we see great opportunity in the Asian market, and we think that, you know, what needs to happen is that the businesses that need to be successful in that region have got to do 2 things. They've got to be able to grow in their existing markets, and they've got to grow into new markets. So it's quite a complex strategy that they need to work with. But again, our survey says that the businesses that are most successful are those that can operate that sort of twin track strategy.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
And that was Tom Homer. He's the head of EMEA and Americas at Telstra Global.